What's going on, Cougar fans? Peter Borkowski here on the Cougar Sports Network, bringing you this edition of Coaches Weekly. And once again, I'm joined by head coach of the CUC baseball team, Coach Conner. Welcome back to the show. Excited to talk to you today, Coach.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Of course. And it's game week for you and your squad. You head down to Southgate, Illinois, right outside St. Louis for this weekend, a 3-game set against Heidelberg, North Park University, and then Lawrence. And I guess let's just start with the general excitement level around the team. What are the guys feeling like? What are you and your coaching staff feeling like as you get ready to kick off the season with this 3-game little tourney in St. Louis?
Yeah, I think it's a really good first test for us in terms of obviously getting outside, but you don't want to fast forward to Florida. It's hard not to. Mm-hmm. We also talked about, like I said 2 times ago and last time, is just stack your days, find consistency. So we are trying to get super excited while just taking it day by day. Mm-hmm. I think what we've learned about this team is just the more we can ride the middle ground, the better we're going to be. And you know how it is, man. When you start early, it's hard not to be excited and, to lose your mind a little bit from the emotional side. But very excited, really looking forward to it. I've talked about weather for 3 of these, so might as well do it for the 4th one.
Right.
It's going to be really good weather, too. Mm-hmm. So very excited. Very excited.
And as for your guys' practices, I just kind of wanted to get an insight of what they're looking like right now. I mean, I'm sure you guys have built up since fall ball way back when of, small group stuff. And I believe you said you guys are scrimmaging later today. So can you just talk about, is it a lot of full group stuff, a lot of live stuff as you get ready for this weekend? Are you still breaking little things down? Just what do practices kind of look like in this, week leading up to the opening day?
Yeah, so, from the pitching side, they had a build-up that started right around the beginning of January. The first time that they threw live was our first week of practice, which was the second week in January. Mm-hmm. So hitters have been facing pitchers live since that time. The nice thing with us about, getting finally to game week is we were Monday through Friday live every day. So you had about an hour and 20 minutes to get team-type stuff done. And then we went into a live portion, which was a version of a simulated game. Okay. When we scrimmage, it's nice because it opens up the rest of the week. Mm-hmm. Today, everyone that's throwing live besides our 3 starters for the weekend. Okay. So kind of gives everybody a chance to see live action one more time, iron out a few more kinks with, cuts and relays type stuff, bunt defense type stuff. We got a new technology for the way we call pitches, which is like on a watch.
So, oh, really?
Yeah, we got that yesterday, so using that for the first time today. And then tomorrow what it looks like is, we have a team meeting before practice, go over some travel stuff, go over some scouting report stuff, go over how we act and how we will travel. Mm-hmm. And then after that, it'll be a real nice, day before you leave type practice where pitchers are going to get their work in. We're going to do mass fungo. We're going to do in and out, and we're going to hit BP. Mm-hmm. So get in, get your work done, get out, and then kind of just give everybody's a mind a little bit of a break before we leave tomorrow. And then tomorrow will just be a normal travel day. So being outside, once again, helps a ton with that.
Definitely. And I like that you brought up the travel because I always find it interesting. You guys, especially baseball, like you always seem to start your seasons with a road trip. And this year specifically, you got St. Louis this weekend, spring break. The next weekend you'll be in Florida. And then after that, you guys are going to Kentucky. So, what are some of the advantages or maybe even some of the challenges of starting your season on the road like this? Not even just going to another team's ballpark, but going to a tourney, going to Florida, St. Louis, Kentucky, whatever it is. Just what are some of the advantages, disadvantages, whatever it is, of starting this year with a road trip like this?
Yeah, the disadvantages are very small. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you got to do the logistics of the lodging, the buses, the airfare, all that stuff. By this point, it's become a little bit routine. Mm-hmm. The positive side of it is, it gets guys on a travel type schedule where it looks like the conference tournament or what the regional would look like. Right. I think the best part is it just kind of helps put the cherry on top in terms of the continuity. Mm-hmm. You're in a hotel for 2 or 3 nights. You're in a condo in Florida with guys for a week straight. So a lot of bonding time, a lot of togetherness time, some team dinners too. Which I think there's a reason why families eat dinner together every night. Mm-hmm. So it's the same idea of creating the family atmosphere, but also just creating the togetherness that we're trying to have. And, also, you get to play teams you wouldn't normally play. You get to play teams from all over the country, which when you play really well, it gives you an opportunity to play some really good teams that can lead to the at-large type stuff that allows you to get into the tournament at the end of the year.
And something else I want to know about, how are you guys going to work through just kind of the workload of this weekend? I mean, start of the season, you got games in 3 straight days. Just what are you guys planning to do, whether it's personnel-wise, getting a lot of guys in and out of the game, just to make sure that this weekend, it's the start of the season. Guys aren't getting overworked. They aren't getting, too many innings, too few innings. Just what is it going to look like from that perspective of making sure, hey, we're playing a lot of baseball this weekend. We got to make sure everybody is good with it, physically, mentally, whatever it is. Just what does that kind of look like from the coaching side?
Yeah, so from the pitching side, we, like I said, we have some depth this year. So it's finding spots where guys can get comfortable and excel, whether that's high leverage or low leverage, and kind of figuring out, this guy needs to go behind this guy because they offset each other. From the position player side, I think it's getting used to the flow of the game. It's getting used to, picks and what our offense looks like. I think from the position side, it's a little bit more of a consistent thing just because when it comes to hitting, it's difficult to do. So if guys can get more at-bats, that's going to create some comfort, which will create, once again, that consistency piece. So we try to do a really good job of finding places to put guys in without, sacrificing the opportunity to win. So it'll look a little bit different than it will, come a month from here, but the beginning of the year, the lineup that you start with and the rotation that you start with, it's never the same at the end of the year.
Right, definitely.
There's just way too many things that happen in college baseball and way too many things out of our control. And if it works out perfect, which it never does, however you make the lineup will be a really good thing. But just the ability to get guys in that atmosphere and that environment and find places, to use guys, whether it's a pinch run setting or a pinch hit setting, or hey, we can get a defensive replacement in this spot to help us, come ninth inning. It's just really going to be getting guys used to what it looks like, and just kind of reminding everybody that, whether you're on the field or you're in the dugout, it is one big group that really does make the difference.
Definitely. And then final thing to wrap up here, Coach. What is going to signify a good weekend when it's all said and done? Obviously, you want to pick up some wins. That's always the main goal of any college team, I believe. But, even if it doesn't come to the wins, just what needs to happen this weekend so you, the rest of your staff, the players on Monday can say, hey, that was a good weekend to start off. We can build off of that. Just what does that need to look like this weekend?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just to be able to play some version of clean baseball. Make routine plays, make quality pitches, and put together good at-bats. It's a cliche answer, but if we can put ourselves in a good spot by not hurting ourselves, that means it's going to be a really good weekend. And then I think the last part on top of that is just playing hard and playing fast.
Definitely. Well, CUC Baseball opening day is this Friday down in Sauget, Illinois. They open up against Heidelberg at 2 p.m. They then play North Park University on Saturday and then Lawrence on Sunday. Coverage for all those games can be found at our website, cucougars.com. Coach Conner, thanks again for joining me today, and good luck this weekend. I hope we have some good stuff to talk about next week. But until then, this is Peter Borkowski signing off of the Cougar Sports Network and wanting to say, as always, go Cougars.